Today I'm going to show you how to make a text pop like TommyInnit on Davinci Resolve. Okay, so before you put any clips into the timeline, you want to right click on the media pool and find timelines, and click create a new timeline. So once we're on here, we can name it whatever we want, but what we want to do is we want to go into project settings and unclick this box, and then go into format, and once we're here, you should see timeline frame rate. We don't want our timeline frame rate to be 24 frames per second. We either want it to be 30 or 60. We'll use 30 for now because we're not using any footage. Now TommyInnit uses a font called Doses, so go onto the first link in the description if you want to download it. Once you've clicked the link, click download family. Once you've downloaded it, you want to find where you see Doses variable font and double click on that file. So now you should be led to this page, and you just want to go into the top left and click install. So now all you have to do is restart Davinci Resolve. So the first thing you want to do is open up Effects if it isn't already open, and go to Titles. Once you're on Titles, we're going to find Basic Title, and you just want to drag the basic title onto your timeline right here, you see. So you want to click onto your basic title, and we're going to go back into Font Family, and we're going to scroll up until we get to Doses. So you should find all the doses right here, and the one we want to use is extra bold. The default size of 96 should work for now. So now let's go into settings and transform, find the Y position, and we're going to put it down to around the bottom of the screen. I've got it at -458. So we actually do want a background just so we can see. If you want this paper file, I'll link it in the description. I'm just going to put it underneath our font. So right now you can see that it doesn't look very good, and that's because we haven't added on stroke. If you don't know what stroke is, it's basically the border of our text. So once you're at stroke, you want to make the size, and we'll just adjust it to it looks about right. A lot of people don't put it to the right size. We'll set ours to 5, and that looks pretty good. Now for drop shadow. So TommyInnit's drop shadow is pretty basic. For some reason in Davinci Resolve, I don't know why, but drop shadows only show up if they're offset by at least 1. So you can just offset it by 1 and you won't notice. This one's a little bit too blurry, so we'll just put it to about that, so you can just see a bit of an outline around it. Now all we want to do is we want to give the text a little bit of a pop when it shows up. Scroll to the very start of our timeline, and you want to click a zoom keyframe. Now we want to adjust this until you get to 0.95, either with your cursor or with your arrow keys. Go 3 frames forwards. So let's count 1, 2, 3. Here we go. And now you want to make another keyframe, and this one you'll adjust it to 1.05, and then we'll go another 3 frames forward, so 1, 2, 3, and then we'll put it back down to 1. You might even want to make this a little bit larger, so go back into the size and you can just expand it. Keep in mind, when you do move the size, the stroke or the text border, it stays the same size, which means it probably won't look very good. So if you increase the size, we'll increase it to 120, and we'll make the stroke a little bit bigger. That's probably good. Okay, so now I've got this random clip in here of me saying that should be enough shulker boxes. Something that a lot of people probably don't know in Davinci Resolve. If you press the key on your keyboard N, when you're moving around the red thing, it doesn't actually attach to the end of clips. Go to the very start of where you start speaking, and we're going to zoom in a little bit just so we can see a little bit closer. Let's just make this up to 10. Let's drag our text back to here, and make sure you drag it. Don't use the cropping tool. Don't use this tool, otherwise it's going to change where the text pop is. So what we want to do is we want to remove any text that's in here, so now we shouldn't be able to see it, and click on the clip and do Control C. So now feed the clip to clipboard. We'll put a capital T just for the fun of it. So I decided to turn these 6 words into 2 words per text. What I did was I was just going along pasting where I started to say the words, and then in here I was just writing the words which I wanted it to say. So if I wanted to say hi, bye, bozo. So go back to the start, hi, bye, bozo. I think for the text I made, I've got the stroke a little bit too high. You can play around with the settings until you get something that you like. But I think that I'm going to change all these, so I'm going to select all the clips by just dragging a box with left click, and then going down to stroke, and we're just going to put it down to, we're Maybe 7 looks good, I think. Now you know how to make TommyInnit subtitles. That should be enough shulker boxes.